I hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about a county that is auctioning off properties right now to the highest bidder so that they can actually get those properties back on the tax roll. You are going to start seeing news like this around the country in about 4 to 6 months because there is a massive backlog that counties have held off these auctions because of COVID. And now they are hitting the ground running. One county has over 1,000 properties that have just now hitting the auction blocks, and we're dealing with tax liens or tax deed sales. This is the time to be getting ready for this. Let me dive into this story out of New York, but this is happening in every county in the country right now. And the really big push, the surge, begins this coming spring. All right. If you want to get ready for it, there's like a 94% off. I can't do the math, but it's over 90% off. Both the Tax Lien Master and the Tax Lien Pro and Tax Foreclosure Master course if you want. It's pre-filming because I'm no joke. We are filming them right now, getting them sent to the editor. It's going to take a couple months. So I'm going to reward those that are starting, and we are shutting down that price point and the coaching calls as of tomorrow, because the first coaching call starts tomorrow, and I want the first group of people in getting ready to bid on properties in the next handful of months, the first 2 months. All right. So here we go. Putnam sells off foreclosed properties, gets dozens of properties back on the tax rolls. Now, I want to explain this as the story goes through so you understand why this is happening and how you can make money from it and how you could actually, in this process, help other people that are losing their house or they're behind. Out of Carmel, New York, in a significant effort to return foreclosed properties to productive use, it's a key word, Putnam County has successfully auctioned off a substantial portion of its foreclosed property inventory, bringing in over $1.7 million and putting $6.2 million in assessment back on the tax rolls. So let me explain what that means. So when they say they are bringing in over $1.7 million, that is the amount of unpaid property taxes that people had just walked away from during the pandemic, okay? And that was $1.7 million that was not in the county's coffers to pay their firefighters, their emergency services, building schools, all of that, okay? Working on roads. Like, this is important stuff, right? When they talk about the $6.2 million in assessment back on the tax rolls, that $6.2 million is the assessed value of the properties that created the $1.7 million tax gap. Okay. So that means there's now $6.2 million worth of assessed value in properties back on a current trajectory of getting paid the taxes due on those properties. Okay. It says the sale included properties that had gone into foreclosure over the past decade, with a total of 160 properties put up for auction in July of 2024. Now, people, when they think foreclosure, you always seem to think, let me know if you're that person, hey, a bank's involved. But that's actually not the case. Foreclosure is simply the taking of a property from an owner that has fallen behind in some type of payment. A foreclosure can happen through a homeowners association. It can happen through a bank. It can happen through a county. It can even happen through a school district or a utility company. What you saw in the thumbnail of this video is me in an auction, and the girl passing by me is actually a professional bidder that works for a company, a large company that picks up properties. And I've had enough of this being at these things. I'm like, I got to show people how to do this on their own, because everyone started in that room I was in of like 600 investors, and there was 186 properties for auction that day. Every single person in that room started from nothing. And same like me, I started from nothing. And I'm like, well, I want to show people how to do this. And I know people that started with $256 and are now making hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit each year. And this is like their 9th year. This is an incredible opportunity, because what's coming this next spring is a deluge of the truth when it comes to the foreclosure industry and what's going on with the banking industry. And it's going to lead to a lot more of these properties coming on the market. Well, check this out. It says here, talking about Putnam, using this as an example, the auction resulted in the approval of 144 property sales by the county legislature with an average sale price of, okay, think about now. I want you to really think about this. It's going to be very hard for you to believe this. The average sale price of these properties were $10,751. Okay. So 144 properties went for an average price of $10,751, meaning there were some that were more expensive. There were some that were a lot less expensive. We're talking about 10 cents on the dollar with these properties, no joke. And there are some things that you have to do, like, put quiet title on the property and things like that. These are things I'm going to be teaching over the next couple of months. Anyone can do this. And I'm putting together this course to give you absolutely zero excuses of why you aren't in the real estate market as an investor. This is, no joke, the lowest barrier to entry of any type of investing in real estate. However, it's so convoluted and it's kept such a secret. I'm going to blow this secret out of the water. I've even put together a couple of subscribers to become coaches that have been doing this for quite some time, and they're out crushing it. So I wanted to provide that service because this is how you make people wealthy. You teach them something that they now learn how to do. They have a skill, then they have confidence because they have the skill, and then they go out and crush it, and then that wealth grows into something bigger. Now, here's a quote from one of the executives of the county, Kevin Bryan. This auction is a critical step in our ongoing efforts to reduce the tax burden on our residents and ensure these properties once again contribute to our local economy. So let me explain what that means. See, counties all over the country right now have a very serious problem. See, there was a lot of forbearance and a lot of people just decided not to pay their property taxes ever since COVID came out. Now, these tax sales and tax liens have been around in our nation for over 400 years. Wealthy people like the Ford Motor Company Ford, I'm blanking out his first name, but Henry Ford and Walt Disney have made tons of money. As a matter of fact, a lot of people became multimillionaires during the Great Depression, buying up properties through these liens and deed sales. And what's happening is these counties that have these all in their books, they're not getting that income until they go ahead and file to have them auctioned off. And they do them in these large groups, right? Well, there's some massive, massive auctions coming that are so big in the springtime that most people that don't know what they are, let's put it this way, there's gonna be way less bidders than there's gonna be properties coming up this spring. And not only the springtime, but over the next 3 years, okay? And by June or July, you're gonna see, because even though the course that I'm building right now, it's going to be the most diverse, like in-depth course I've ever done in my life. The bulk of it, the body of it will be done in 2 to 3 months, but I'm going to have to keep working on it all year long, because by June, you're going to see the headlines popping everywhere, and it's going to be an absolute success. Quite frankly, my goal is to always give people very good deals for education, but this is one of those ones that once it's completely done, it will be worth its weight in gold, because I've seen this in my life and in other people's lives. One deal makes back all your money for course, the education, all that kind of stuff, and then you just keep repeating that. The reason why I say that is because I wanted to use this story in out of Putnam County, and there's so many, it's insane. I'm going to really focus this on this channel, because this can show anyone how to invest with very little money. Like, you could buy tax liens for $50. You could actually, there's over-the-counter tax deeds where you can get properties directly from the state. Not a joke. Like my buddy just bought one from the state of Michigan. So they'd already cleared out all these liens on it. He bought it for $700, a piece of property. And there's no excuse here. And so I'm going to get my kids involved. I'm going to show people that are on very fixed incomes that have $1,000. I'm going to show them how to go out and buy properties cash and then go market them for sale and then turn around and flip those things. This is exciting. This is going to be huge. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. I mean, I'm going to have a lot more stories coming out soon, but if you want the link, it's for rewarding people for standing behind me and believing in me while I'm filming, because I think there's already 6 lessons out on the first course. There's none on the second, and I've got like 15 to the editor right now. I'm going to reward them with like 95% off. So this is low, and I can't imagine it ever being offered after I finish all this lower. All right, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Real Estate Ninja is out.